Happy Thursday. It is January 5th, 2023. It's my first time talking to the camera since Vlogmas. I want to extend another huge thank you to everyone who watched Vlogmas. If you enjoyed it, I'm so happy. If you didn't, don't let me know. Just kidding. But really, don't let me know. Just unsubscribe. It's okay. Things are good here. We have Christmas is taken down. Tomorrow is King's Day. So tomorrow is technically the 12th day of Christmas, but we do not observe that in our house. We observe it's up for as long as I can stand it. And since it goes up so early, I'm usually pretty ready for it to be down around New Year's. Excuse me, yawning. I thought I was just sitting here and I have about 25 or 30 minutes before the boys get home from school, and it gets loud and crazy, and then it just starts like the day is over and we're into afternoon and evening, just when it gets unpredictable and I get sleepier and sleepier. And so I just thought I would talk to you about a few projects that I'm working on. The weather here is in the 70s. I am in a sleeveless shirt, linen pants, and slippers here in Texas, and not just any part of Texas, Gulf Coast, 45 minutes from the Gulf of Mexico, Texas. So we are tropical, as many of you know. I'm doing a temperature blanket. I have always admired everyone who could do temperature blankets and just had like the patience and all of that. And I just thought, I'm gonna do it. So, and I say a blanket, it's actually not a blanket, it's a shawl. I'm gonna have to go get it. Okay, so I am not doing like the reds and orange for the hot colors down to blues for the cool colors. I laid out a bunch, not a whole, but I went through and picked like my favorite colors of one skein yarns from my stash. And I picked 37 of them. And it is it's random, but it is kind of a fade. It kind of fades in and out of lights and darks. We've got some warms into some cools. So technically, I guess it does go to cools. Like these are grays and grayish purples, and these are more like browns and creams and peaches and reds and darker pinks. So anyway, I just picked 37 colors. I assigned them all of the temperatures. I have 20 days that have their own temperature. These are kind of my most common, most likely to be used days. And I have started this project. I think it's called the Climate Wrap. It is by, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to put it on the screen. I wanna say it's Soraya Hussein, but I could be wrong. Probably I'm wrong. But this is 4 days. So there's a little garter at the beginning, and then this will be at the other end, and then I have 4 days of the wrap. So let's see, yeah, you can see that. I love this little texture. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit tedious, but I'm only doing 2 rows per day. And so that's fine, but the result of the texture is really, really cool. So it's worth it. Yeah, so I have that going. I just kind of work on it at night, my 2 rows at night, like right after dinner, because I'm using the high temperature of the day, and by that time we've had the high. So that's that. I'm really excited about the fact that it is using 38 technically, 38 including the little bit of border on each side. But this is the giant Pampa, right? Pampa XL that I got a couple of years ago from Hohe & Co. Or maybe last year. I can't remember. I think maybe last year. But it is holding. Now I have some of them that I've already used and I've started caking them up. I had to label them with the temperatures. But at the beginning, this held all 38 skeins. So now they're kind of spread out all over and I need to clean up after myself. Another project, this is for my Zombie Knitpocalypse knit along for January and February. The prompt is texture. And so anything that isn't all stockinette or all ribbing counts. And that could be with stitches. And then also if you're using a textured yarn, so like a slub or a Surrey or mohair, anything that's adding texture, lace, garter stitch, anything that is not creating a smooth fabric counts. And so this counts. It also, I'm gonna earn some extra points because it's a kit I bought at ZK in 2021. The dyer for, okay, let me back up. I bought it at a booth. It was a yarn store that had a booth there, Muse 2320, I believe. And she designed the shawl. It uses 2 skeins of a worsted weight cotton. This is, I always want to say blue sky alpaca, but I could be wrong. I don't have it. But it's 2 skeins of this. These are like 150 yards. So it's like a worsted to Aran weight. So soft, but definitely cotton. And then botanically dyed fabric that she has ripped up into strips for parts of the shawl. So you can see that you get a little bit of these little fabric strips here, which is just a fun little kind of break. There's some lace. There's lots of texture going on here. So I'll get some texture bonus and some vendor bonus and designer bonus because it's designed by the dyer. And yeah. So I'm working on that. And this, I just do like 2 or 3 rows a day because it kind of makes my hands a little bit sore, but it is already, like I can tell it is so light and cool. This is going to be the perfect Texas shawl. And my camera is on the picture, otherwise I would show you. Another thing that I have been working on slowly, but here and there, is my après ski cowl by Shayna Billow. This is using my Dandelion and Dogwood advent calendar. So I am holding, the original shawl calls for the advent skein and then a strand of Surrey. And I decided that I did not want to do Surrey because Gulf Coast of Texas. And I thought, you know, I'll get a same kind of textured effect, but holding it with slub instead. So I am holding it with slub and also a strand of a like a thread of sparkle with sequins. So you can see up close, you get the slub, you get the sequins, but from far back, it's fun, but it's not too crazy, I think. I don't care if it is. I love it so much. It's like a lot, and that's kind of why I like it, I think. Here's the skein. So fun. And then I'm using undyed slub. And this is from Suburban Stitcher. And then I have, I think I've done 6 days. So I have to wind up my next day. And then I think in the next section, I join it in the round, and then I'm just knitting in the round. That will be great. That's kind of what's happening right now. I'm really, really enjoying this little project so far. I think this is gonna be today, 72 to 73. If I had to guess, that's what we're gonna be. Not a pretty color. So, gosh, I'm so excited about getting all of these skeins out of my stash. I used to make I want to knit this, I want to knit this many yards, I need to do this, I'm not gonna, I haven't done that in quite a while. Really since I started Suburban Stitcher, making any sort of knitting resolutions is really hard because time is so unpredictable with what I'm gonna be able to do. However, I did decide a couple of things. One, and here's my two. I have 2 knitting goals. And really that's probably it for the year. The first one is I want to eliminate, and I'm not even gonna say the number here, but I have a pretty sizable number of skeins of yarn that I would like to eliminate from my house, whether that's donate, use, sell, swap, no, because that would just bring another one in, of existing skeins of stash in my house. So that number, I want to use those up or do something with them by the end of the year. So it's, like I said, it's a big number. I'm not gonna put it out there at this point, but I have quite a sizable yarn stash, and I need to get some of it moving along. So the temperature blanket is a big chunk of that. And then this little project is 3 skeins as well. That's been sitting in the stash for about 1.5 years, 2 years. So really excited to get things moving along. So that's the first goal. And the second goal is I have a specific sweater. Again, I'm not gonna say what yet, but I have a specific sweater that I want to knit by December. And that's it. Those are my 2 goals. I think they're very doable. I think they're very doable. So probably sometime this, I don't know, maybe later in the spring, I'm gonna probably dye up that yarn for the Christmas sweater. And maybe we'll talk about it a little bit when I start knitting it. But for now, just know that I have a specific sweater that I've wanted to make for a very long time, and I will be knitting that for December. And that's it. So those are my 2 goals, because they can just, it's kind of easy, and it's not so rigorous, I guess. The only one that has a specific number is the first one, and the other one I have 11 months to do it. So it shouldn't be too bad. I just am gonna put some videos in here and there, and end of life this first week or so of January and end of December. And yeah, stay tuned for more.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. Eyes blue like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. No one else here but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in
Away, baby!
Hello. It is about to start pouring, so that's par for the course here. So the lighting will probably change. I don't like to have overhead lights or inside lights on when I record. This room is light and bright enough typically that I don't have to, but it's very dark in here. I recorded a video about a month ago that still has not been posted. I may or may not have put it at the beginning of this video. The crows are all frantically flying away and leaving. What is happening? Okay, well, I guess we're about to get a good little rain. So I just wanted to pop in and show you some things that I have finished, one thing that I have finished in the last month, some things that I continue to work on, and just kind of what is making me, what's going on, what's a couple business things. So let's chat about it. I finished this, I don't remember the name, but I'm getting all the lightning strike warnings. This is a shawl that I purchased the yarn for at ZK 2021. It still needs to be blocked, ends woven in. There are so many ends to deal with right now. But this is 100% cotton. The main yarn is cotton, and then this is cotton fabric. And I just got the kit because I thought it would be a nice little, there's emergency vehicles coming or going somewhere. Anyway, I thought in Texas, a cotton layer would be great. I like the texture and the movement of this one, and so I just need to finish this one up. I am going to block it because it will need a block. I have continued to work on my climate wrap. So it's up to date through yesterday. I have not done today yet because we don't know what the high is today yet. But I don't know that you're going to be able to see, but January goes right up to just the bottom of that little purple stripe, and it's textured, and I was able to add in beads for our anniversary and for the day that Nick made the baseball team, because that was a big day in our household. Right here is where we started getting winter. So this is the Houston winter right here. That's it. January was a really pretty, like, puffy texture, kind of a fake bobble. And then this is, I think it was called double moss stitch or something, double seed stitch. It's very pretty. It's a lot flatter of a texture. It's also a lot quicker to knit. So that's been nice. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I love it. I can't wait to see just all the colors as it changes. And for those who were wondering, the pattern is called Climate Wrap by Soraya Hussein. And it is available on Ravelry. And it is a year-long wrap where you choose the high temperature of every day, and you assign colors to temperatures, and you knit the color for the day. I think it calls for either 6 or 12 colors, and I have 37 because I have a large stash of things that I wanted to start using and moving. So yeah, so this is still going strong. I love it. I think it's kind of cool that it's like these two wide stripes after all the little skinny stripes, but it's pretty fun. That's something I've been working on. I have a sample that I'm knitting for a pattern by Shayna Lines Designs that comes out tomorrow. It is a cowl called Drawn Together. She and I say she and I collaborated very loosely because she designed this out of my yarn, and I just said, can I get a copy of the pattern early so I can knit a sample? Because I want to have it done for Portland. So this is the Drawn Together cowl. It's a cowl that has a drawstring. The color that I'm knitting in is Heavy Metal, which is a great gray neutral with pops of a warm kind of caramelly brown and chocolate brown speckles. And then I am making a yellow drawstring. This is my color Gold. It's like a tonal semi-solid. Nothing I dye is 100% solid, so it's like my caveat with that. But this is Drawn Together. So this was a lot of fun. It was a folded over hem at the top, and you make little holes for the drawstrings, and then you just knit an I-cord drawstring that I actually might start today. I have about 3 inches left to knit on this, I believe, until this is done. And then I have a mini of gold that I'm using for the I-cord drawstring. You just need such a little bit. I think she said 3 or 4 grams, and I just thought this gold would look really great with it, so that's what I dyed up. Shayna's sample uses Swamp for my main color, for her main color, and then the drawstring is Tango, which is a kind of hot reddish pink with some speckles, and it's just a fun, like, pink and green combination. I love it. You could even do multiple drawstrings so that it looks different, you know, depending on what kind of mood you're in. If you want like a pop mood or a subtle neutral mood. And it is definitely gender inclusive. So men, women, boys, girls, kids, anyone could wear this pattern. She has photos of it with her and her husband, and I just think that's really great. It's nice to have a pattern that anyone can pick up and wear, and a finished item, especially me being in a house of boys. Sometimes it's just nice to have something that anybody can pick up and wear, and they're not screaming at me for only making pink things, which I pretty much do anyway, but you know, here we go. So that is something that releases tomorrow. It's called Drawn Together by Shayna Lines Designs, and you will want to make sure that you are subscribed to her newsletter, because I think she usually does a discount. So be on the lookout for that. And I will have kits, not kits, but I will have this pairing yarn and her original pairing, the Swamp and the Tango, in the shop tomorrow morning. I also collaborated with Lisa Ross, Paper Daisy Creations, on a shawl that released last week. It's called Soft Whispers. Soft Whispers, and it used this yarn. This is my sock yarn in the color Lingerie. Just these soft, muted, romantic colors. And a set of sock minis called Diane's Favorite, because they're like all my favorite muted, romantic colors. And so it uses one skein of sock and one set of these minis. The shawl is out. You can get that directly from Lisa Ross, but these are also available. I sold out of these and have had to re-up more, and the second round is in the shop, and maybe even these are close to being sold out. So if you're interested, you definitely want to grab those. I don't know when I will be restocking them. It might be a few weeks. So, because I have some trunk shows and some wholesale orders that I've got to catch up on. And then last but not least, I haven't worked on this in a little bit, but I am hoping to get back to it soon, now that this cowl test knit is almost done. This is my Trinnigan cardigan, and oh my gosh, it looks so good on the screen. I think this is about 10 or 11 inches so far knit, and I have to get to 18, so it's coming along. The main color that I'm using is from Primrose, and I don't know the base, but it was one that I got at, it's a worsted weight that I purchased at New York Sheep and Wool, Rhinebeck, this last year. And this pattern came out like the next week. So when I saw that it used a yarn that I had just purchased, like the weight, and in basically the exact same yardage that I had just purchased, I knew it was meant to be. So I'm using my Dream State scraps and some full skeins. Like I wound up this full skein because it just looked like it needed to go next. This is a scrap of something, I don't know, maybe Verba Volant might be this color that I'm using right now, and then we'll go into this one. So I'm just kind of looking through my Dream State that I have in the yarn room and pulling whatever looks like it needs to be the next color. So that is that. That's kind of all my knitting. It's a little bit here and there. I pulled out my spinning wheel this week, or last week, and I purchased 2 bats from Spun Right Round that I am dying to work with. They're like super fun and glittery, and lots of sari silk and nups and neps, I guess I should say, not nups, neps, and all sorts of beautiful texture and glitter, and I cannot wait to get those on the wheel. I have to do a little bit of refreshing my memory of spinning. It's been several years, but I will get back to that. And then I also purchased these from Barker Wool. Turn this right side up. But this was an exclusive color or a debut color for a pattern that is designed by Knit Graffiti, Leslie Ann Robinson. The color is called Flowers in the Bath, and it's for a signed pooling brioche shawl that uses 2 of these skeins and then 2 solid colors. She used Lobby Anime for the background. And so I have this that I am just dying to cast on. I love it. All 3 ladies that collaborated on that design are just such dear, sweet people in our community, and I was so excited to support them as soon as that released. Yeah, I've been to the Modern Skein just to knit recently. And for a yarn trunk show. I've been dyeing lots of yarn. I'm getting ready to be in Portland in a few weeks. So it's just been a really good time around here. I have a lot of video that I've taken over the last month and little snippets of various things here and there. But this is what's going on right now. You always check out my website for places that I'll be in person. The next thing is at Naughty Lamb in Portland for the Thursday, the first day of the Rose City Yarn Crawl, which I'm so excited. Naughty Lamb was my first ever wholesale account, and it is amazing to be going back there to an in-person show, finally, to just celebrate with my first in-person account. And Karen has just been such a support of Suburban Stitcher since the beginning. So I'm really, I'm really excited about that, and to get to go to Portland and see so many knitters from that part of the country that many of whom I have never met. So I'm so excited. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just really happy to have a few minutes to sit and record today, and I'm gonna go wind some yarn and edit this video and just get back to work. Life is good, family is good, and I hope that you all are well too. And hopefully it won't be so long before I get another video up. See y'all soon. Bye.